Hello, gentle viewers. This is Half Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 26, featuring the Chicago White Sox. Our previous episode, we had a bit of a troubling end of the season, but all in all, I'm still pretty proud of this group. We had the second best offense in the entire American League. We had a pretty reasonable pitching staff, although some of our lower tier pitchers weren't quite as good. There's definitely some room for growth, room for improvement, but on the whole, I think we can be pretty proud with what we accomplished. Okay. A quick shout out to Insight World 422. He says tear it all down. He says trade Ransford, trade Maben, and trade Pues. I'm not opposed to those ideas necessarily, but I don't know, man. I guess you had 600 at bats with actually over 700 at bats with Ransford. And he's given us one okay season and one pretty terrible one. Like, it sucks that I'm thinking of trading my first overall draft pick from 2026. I think I have to. I think even if Ransford achieves his full potential, he won't be good enough to justify it. If you can't hit in my park, I don't know where you can. So, yeah. In 3 seasons, we had a good year in his rookie year. He ends with a World Series ring. I think we say goodbye, offer him a fond farewell. I'm gonna try something a bit dubious, perhaps. I'm gonna ask for a prospect package. This is a rare chance to have a fairly high-ranking player that I could turn to something magical. The other possibility, of course, we trade for an established player, so I will at least check the market. But actually, let me do this now. Let me do this now before I think of something else to do. All right, David Pineda. He's a second baseman, is what he is. He's a good second baseman, but I'm kind of happy with my existing second baseman a little bit. He's only like one of the best players in the major leagues. Second base is a position I'm 100% fine at, so Pineda probably doesn't move the needle enough for me. There are some good pitching prospects being offered to me, and I wouldn't mind strengthening that aspect of my team. Nick Gummiani. I think he's an excellent pitcher, but I have concerns. My biggest concern is I know nothing about his personality. He's also still, he's not raw or anything like that, but there is still an element of risk with him because of his development risk, and he's not going to throw very hard. This is the kind of pitcher that could be excellent and should develop very quickly, but I do have concerns about him. I'm not saying that he's not a great choice. What about Jason Ransom instead? Jason Ransom is a pretty amazing hitter. And unlike some other players I could name, he's actually delivered a little bit in the major leagues. I think he would be a fantastic upgrade to this team. I truly believe that. He can't play first base. That is, I guess, an argument against him, is he can't play first base. But I could always ship, say, Biddle over to first base. And I really like his upside. I think this is a rare move that actually makes us a better team now and in the future. I think it's probably the move I'm going to make. I will ask for more, but I'm probably going to be told no. But I think it doesn't hurt to ask for, say, a Troy Bird as well. Troy Bird is an interesting pitcher. I think he's very, very skilled, but I don't think he's ever going to be a top tier pitcher, in my opinion. But we'll see. I'm not giving up one of my elite prospects. This is a matter of acquiring a player that I think can help the team. Hey, look, it's Hershey Dogar. I remember you. My 14th round draft pick. I could bring you back if I wanted to. I feel like this is clearly the best player in their system, and I think I just make the trade. Yeah. This then also makes Mabin expendable if that's something I wanted to do. I have Manny Estrada. I have tons of options now to play the outfield. Some of whom could play first, undoubtedly, but we're gonna have a fun time in spring training sorting out who the odd man out becomes. But I'm really enamored with Ransom. Maybe he gets more playing time in AAA, but I'm at least willing to give him the opportunity to show that he is worthy. He might also just be a DH. He might also end up replacing Mr. Tibbs at some point. We have lots of options. We're not going to limit any of them just yet. One other thing I wanted to do is I wanted to go ahead and make sure that we flag Mr. Rainsford here as a former Sox. I hope he succeeds in San Diego, but I have serious doubts about that. We'll see. Let's set up our scouting or our coaching staff now. We need a first base coach and a third base coach. And we want somebody ideally personable. That would make the most people happy. I don't have any high-ranking. I do have Anthony Nunez. I don't think Santos is an issue. I think he's acceptable. I think we can give him a promotion to first base coach. Guillermo Quiroz is nothing special. Neither is Greg Dupas. I think I'm going to go ahead and probably try to hire a new AAA manager. I will promote Nunez to low A. I think he at least offers some growth that makes him intriguing to me. And what I'll do is I'll hire a third base coach who's personable. What am I not teaching well right now? I'm not teaching infield very well. Santa's actually one of my better teachers. Let's get somebody to teach our infield. That's what I want. I want a personable coach who has tons of experience managing an infield. That would make me very happy. All right. Vacant is personable. All right. Adam Lynch would be a pretty good fit. Either Lind or a Minkiewicz. I think I'd rather have Lind because he's younger. Right? Einar Montez doesn't like you. What about Minkiewicz? I guess if you're just Montez is maybe just a prickly pear. He's a bit of a grump. Michael Ahmed. Okay, I think here's our winner. He's still excellent at teaching the infield. He's a great teacher otherwise. He's just a really good coach. I think bringing him along, even at a slight disadvantage because reputation's not as good, I think is excellent. And he's got a real potential to get promoted from there. Now, for AAA, I don't care about my filter at all. Just murder it, please. I want somebody who can handle development. That is by far the most important thing for my AAA manager. It's got to be somebody that can put the last polish on a player to get him to the next level. And I think that coach is Roberto Arias. I think he's the guy we're looking for. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Or is it better to have Justin Masterson, the former Cleveland Guardian? I actually like Masterson better because he's younger than Arias. Yeah, let's bring him along. Part of the Jake Westbrook trade, true story. And then I would love to get Arias actually to be my rookie league manager if he'd be willing to take that. We'll see. Player development. Let's fucking go. Jose Altamar is probably about ready for the majors. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, but I think he's quite close. Let's have him work on his secondary pitches. I think it's going to benefit him more than working on his control would. So let's do that. Done. Herb Berry is very far away from the major leagues, but he's got so much raw potential. How about we get a little bit more creative with you? How about you work on bat speed? The difference between you being a good player and a great player is cashing in on your raw power. If you can capitalize on your power, you become very frightening. Very frightening indeed. Where's Ransom? Discipline. Wilson, I want you to work on your movement. I think that's more important to you than just about anything else. Manny Estrada, plate discipline. All right. 3 more openings. Let's get some prospects trained up. John Crank is pretty close already. What is Alberto Maini's issue? His issue is he's a first baseman. I think I trade Maini. I don't really see a ton of value in keeping him around when... I bet he'd be good at third base. Maini, before I give up on you, learn a new position, please. If you could pick up third base or even the outfield, I think that could be pretty beneficial for you and have a chance at you actually making the majors. We already got Herb Berry. Let's get Edwin Hernandez working on discipline. And then I guess John Crank work on your control some more, and then that's it. All right. And let's talk arbitration. This is going to get spooky. John Guerrero have a minor league extension. Anguiano minor league extension. Alex Blanco's pretty terrible. I think the rest of these guys we can just let walk. Nobody else there is terribly thrilling. Alex Clemmy is fine. Paying that much money for somebody... Basically, I'm paying for your rehab. I don't know that that's worth it to me. They did recommend trading Quest as well. Unlike Ransford, he actually has performed in the major leagues, so I don't want to give up on him yet. And he wants a very small amount of money, so I think we're going to give him that offer. We're going to let him stick around a little bit longer at least and see what the future holds. All right. I think Vergez and Spencer both get extensions, at least for now. Maybe we trade them later on, but their demands are quite reasonable, and I think they're both good enough pitchers that they're worth it. Okay, here is my dilemma. I am not keeping Clemmy unless I got something else. Like anything else I trade, I literally traded Kevin Nauert for nothing if I let him go. I don't think I care. I just don't think it's smart to spend almost $5 million to a pitcher who has not thrown a pitch in the major leagues in over a year. Yeah. I think Mr. Clemmy, I think we say goodbye to you. And maybe we re-sign you in the off season, but probably not. Ralphie Velasquez. Am I convinced that Leo Torres is the catcher of the future? I think he's okay. I think I want him to get plenty of playing time, and I think Velasquez just doesn't fit. I think somebody might be willing to trade for him because he does have a tendency to be a pretty premium hitter. Maybe somebody's going to want it. Probably not, but maybe somebody will. And if they don't, I'll just untender him. I don't like paying for veteran catchers unless the catcher offers something really unique. And he's just fine. He is a captain. It is going to be hit to our team leadership if we lose him, but we also have Mr. Tibbs. So I think we'll be okay. I think it's fine to let a little bit go. I don't think it's going to hurt us too much. Billy Reeg has been surprisingly good. I know he doesn't play every day. He probably plays more than he should, but I still think he's useful. I still think he's a quality player. And I think giving him basically a pittance is more than worthwhile. You may have noticed very quickly, you're like, wait a minute, Abby. I can't help but notice you're ignoring the two most important players in the lineup. Oh, believe me, I know. Hoisington is interesting. He's had two really good seasons for us, and last season he just sucked. He got hit way more frequently and struck out less people. It is not inconceivable that he has another good year in him. But I do have guys like Chris Waters waiting for opportunities. I have other guys that are going to be coming up the pike here. I could just sign a veteran starter for a season. I have choices here. I have Alex Mendez, who's arguably the same as Roy Hoisington. I think it's foolish to keep Hoisington, given what he can accomplish. It also makes me very left-handed, so I would like to try to trade him if I can, but if I can't, I could just keep him in AAA for a bit, right? Oh, I could get David Kelly. I know he's just a reliever, but this is a really talented reliever. I think he's a good fit. I think this is fine. I think it saves me money in the short term, and it gives me a dynamic young pitcher to use in the long term. Okay. Do I want Geske or do I want Bautista? Or do I try to afford both? I can afford both if I choose to. Let's look at Bautista's record. Bautista has, as a center fielder, had an incredible season and a good season. And then a couple of seasons which were fine. So the first question I always ask myself before I make a trade, do I have somebody that could do his job as well as he can? Do I even have another center fielder? Kozic can kind of play center field, sort of. Do I have any center fielders in the system? I don't think I do. Who is, if I look at player development here, if I click on this button here, Michael Travis is my next center fielder up, and he's actually pretty mid. So this becomes a much easier question. I have to keep Bautista. And his contract demands are very, very reasonable if he continues to play at the level he did this past season. I think this is fine. I think this is a contract that we're unlikely to regret. I think we just pull the trigger and we keep Bautista. But some raises the question of Geske, who unfortunately chose a terrible time to have a down year, but he's been very inconsistent. When he's good, he's one of the best in the league. He's a big part of the reason why we won in 2032. When he's not his best, he's still the reliable innings eater. Is that worth $13 million? Liable to be a much, much higher sum. I am not giving him $19 million. That is not happening. I still think he's one of the best starters I've got. And because I'm already losing Hoisington, I've already traded him. I think bringing him back for one season is reasonable. Oh, don't do that. But I am not paying him what he thinks he is worth. I am not paying him almost $20 million. That's stupid. That is a foolish decision, and that is the one I will not be making. You'll take your $13 million and you'll like it. That's how I feel about your request. I think 13 million is potentially an overpay, but it's not an overpay if he's even this version of Geske, to be honest with you, is $13 million. I think that's reasonable. The real question is, if he slips, is he still worth it? And I don't think he is. I don't think that's something I'm willing to entertain. All right, that's all of these decisions made. Now it is reasonable to say why don't we trade Mabin? I think we're gonna fight to fill our jobs anyway. Did Joel Biddle have that good a season? He had an okay season. Oh, yeah, I wanted Mike Braden to pick up first base. Maybe not. Maybe not. I have Dingman. I have guys that can stand around and play first base, I suppose. I could slide Montez over and play Rieg every day at third base. Very possible. A very reasonable decision. I don't know. What I do know, though, is that we're going to go ahead and advance a little bit of time, and we're going to see what our decisions will reap. Hoisington, welcome to the ranks of the former Sox. Masterson took the contract pretty quickly. Arias wants more money. I will pay you 200 grand. That's how much I believe in you. Geske signs, Bautista signs. We got Arias, we got Ahmed. Let's go ahead and set up our staff roles now. You're definitely going to teach my infielders. Yeah. There you go. I've got to get rid of Aaron Boone at some point. He's really hurting our team chemistry a bit. But part of it is also we just have coaches that don't have a ton of experience in the major leagues, so just letting them develop a little bit, I think, will get our chemistry where it needs to be. I'm in the market for a full-time first baseman. I know it creates a bigger logjam, but I think it's something it's worth considering, right? It's worth considering having him play first base, having somebody play first base. I think Maben's raw power is too tempting to let go. So I'm not going to trade him this season unless somebody just blows me away and it's like I need to give this person a deal. Oh, Bautista hasn't signed yet. Okay. No, he did. He did right there. What really concerns you? Nobody, like the fans, didn't get excited about any of those signings. Which, How bad off are we financially at this point? It's not outstanding, but it's also not terrible. Once free agency hits, we'll have a better sense of what our money looks like. Let you give me Bob Huntsman for Bill Rodriguez and Kubek. Huntsman is not that good. I wouldn't even do Huntsman for Bill. And asking for more than that is just stupid. I don't know why Getz is so enamored with it for me to basically... No. Absolutely not. This is a stupid trade. You're a stupid person for recommending it. Go away. You both get to go to the minors, which is fine. Neat. Nice. Jaden Charles got the Cy Young Award. Pretty exciting. A Fountain of Kale sounds like a terrible deal to me. Nah, not interested. Not unanimous, though. Ming Zhou definitely gave him a run for his money, but congratulations to Jaden Charles. Very happy for you. Alright. I'm surprised we didn't get any Silver Sluggers this year. That kind of surprises me. His raw home run power and excellent defense are definitely tempting, and I think he'd be a nice addition to the team. I'm not going to give you Mike Braden, but I would be willing to discuss just Corey Matz, if that... Okay. I'm not willing to give up anybody you're naming right now. I think that's too much. So here's my thing with Braden. Braden hasn't played very much for me. But when he has played, he has been a more than adequate replacement for Ito. Like, his bat is legit. I know he doesn't get a ton of chance. Maybe I'm letting myself be seduced by small sample sizes. You know what? This is the kind of risk that's worth taking. I'm gonna make you a former sock, and I'm gonna pull the trigger here. I'm not even gonna tell you that Stroud is guaranteed the first base job, but I think his raw power is something we desperately need. Because the only other player that even hits for that kind of power is Tibbs and possibly Maben. So I think this makes sense to me. I think that makes us a stronger offense. I will miss Mike Braden, though. And I hope he does do very well with San Francisco. Because he was, in a lot of ways, he saved our season in 2032. Nothing but respect for him. But I think we're making the right choice. I think that is the best deal we could have made. You're trying to teach him second base. I don't know why. Whatever, bruh. Hey, it's Dongmoon An got traded. He's been very itinerant, probably because of his gigantic fucking contract. Like, holy shit, game. I would never pay a closer that much money. Categorically would refuse. Cast my ballot? Okay, fine. We can do that. Nelson Cruz ain't gonna make it, but we'll try. We'll try to try. Bryce Harper definitely deserves consideration. Same for Jacob deGrom. Christian Yelich, I think, deserves more. Zach Wheeler does too. I like Zach Wheeler just fine. Giancarlo Stanton. Koi Seaga. Adley Rutschman, not so much. Not if Buster Posey got bumped off the roster. He didn't make it last year, did he? I don't think he did. Let me do Hall of Fame. I think we've got some really talented hitters in this system now, and it's just a question of letting the cream rise to the crop. And I'm saying this like our offense was terrible last year. Our offense was great last year. We're the second best offense in the American League. But I'm also looking to the future. I also want to make sure that we're well prepared for the eventuality when Ito either leaves or declines. He's getting paid a lot of money. $43 million is objectively a large sum of cash. And I don't know whether he's good enough. Right now, he is 100%. He's a little pricey, but he is not being underpaid. He's not really being overpaid either. But if he does decline, we're stuck with an albatross that I don't know how we get out of. That's always the risk you take. I mean, then again, you know, flags do fly forever. But let's do last season. Apply. Aaron Judge, Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Jose Ramirez, and Chris Sale. Let me sort by team. Let me sort by Jints. Gaylord Perry. Yeah, Buster Posey didn't make it. So, in a world where Buster Posey didn't make the Hall of Fame, I don't see how I could ever argue that a catcher like Salvador Perez should make it. Or that a catcher like, I don't know. Yeah, I just don't see, or Adley Rutschman should make it. Um, I guess Salvador Perez does have the novelty of being a tremendous home run hitter, which isn't common for catchers, so I guess that's worth a vote, I suppose. Andrew McCutcheon deserves a vote. Manny Machado deserves a vote. Frankie Lindor deserves a vote. Mm. To those of you in the United States, I hope you did have a lovely 4th of July weekend. Maybe enjoyed some barbecue and baseball with your friends and your family. Um, I'm not going to get too political, but I know life has been very difficult for people in this country, and I hope you took the time to have a break. Just enjoy your family, your friends, some good food, maybe a little baseball, whatever makes you happy. That's what matters. Yes. I don't know that Ronald Acuna Jr., at least this version of him, is a Hall of Famer. I'm not going to vote for someone just to vote for someone. No, I'm not going to do that. I don't think he deserves it. The real life version, maybe, if he can continue his high level of play. If these are his final stats, I'm not impressed. Um, yeah. I think it takes something very unique or special for me to vote for somebody that is less than a 50 WAR. I think 50 WAR is my cutoff. And then you would argue, well, then what about Salvador Perez? Why did you vote for him? Because I'm stupid. But mostly because he does do something unique. He does hit lots of home runs. 325 home runs, if I'm not mistaken, is top 5 all time as a catcher. If not more than that. It might even be more than that. So let's have a peeky peek. Do catchers. Obviously, Mike Piazza is number 1. Soda Press, I guess, is top 10. I change my mind. No Salvador Perez. If he gets in, he gets in, but I'm not going to vote for him. I'm at least going to pretend to have some level of consistency, even though I genuinely don't. Aaron Nola's worth a vote. He got 3,000 strikeouts, which I think is a very key thing for pitchers, as is 3,000 innings. I know the ERA is kind of high, but that doesn't offset what he's already accomplished. So this is my ballot, and I feel pretty good about it. All right, guys, what do we want? What can we afford? These are the questions that are always on our minds. I have some money for free agents. I have a little bit of money. Not a lot, but a little bit. We still have a very, very young lineup. Very young. One guy over 30. Two guys over 30. I forgot about Mr. Tibbs. Position players, I genuinely don't think we need anything. I genuinely don't think it's necessary. Pitching, I'm currently rolling 6 deep. 1 second. Sorry about that. I got an alert on my phone that I didn't really care about, but that's the life we live, I guess. Okay. So back to what I was saying. I don't know what we want in free agency. The answer may very well be nothing. I want opportunity for my young players. I want to give opportunities to players in the major leagues. That's what I'm seeking. Evan Matty is a nice little player here. I could lose him in the Rule 5 if I don't add something, if I don't put him on the 40 man. The 40 man isn't full yet, but it's close. Let me throw on Rodriguez and Matty, and we'll see what happens from there. I just don't know what I'd want. Another reliever could be nice. A veteran reliever that doesn't cost too much money could be pretty tasty. But that's it. And I'm not going to sit here and invest heavily in a reliever either. Our team is still so incredibly young from top to bottom that it's hard to argue that a veteran free agent makes that much of a difference right now. But maybe it would. Maybe I just need to look at the market and see somebody that just completely blows my mind. Damn, Adiel Amador in this league is worth $34 million a year. That's pretty crazy. I mean, to be fair, he's also been pretty awesome. He's been a pretty great player, all things considered. Um, hmm, if Ryan Ritter would take a minor league deal, I would strongly consider signing him because he would offer me an infielder that I could be proud of if I had to use him. I just don't see us investing heavily in this particular class. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is a really special player that I should be investing in. For right now, I ain't impressed. The kinds of guys that I could potentially want are too expensive, and the other ones don't matter. So, I will happily offer all three of you contracts if you want to give them to me. This offers me some pretty nice depth in the low minors. I'm pretty excited about that. Um, I would pay Alex Chemney like $1 million. That's about the most I would pay. John Lash, I can offer a contract to. Just go some options in the minors is good. That's a good thing to have. Javi Barrera, I could get quite enticed by. Let's do it. I'll happily offer all these minor league deals because they don't affect anything else. Jordan Kovac, sure. And I might lose one or all of these guys in the Rule 5. And if that's the case, that's the case. But I still think I'm making the right choice. I think we're fine. I don't think I spend any more money than I already have. I wouldn't mind trying to grab a center fielder. A center fielder could be enticing to me. No, I'll let that bridge. I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. I'm not going to overpay for a center fielder right now. Adrian Santana is pretty great. I'm not surprised he's being offered all of the bucks, all the itchy and scratchy lane fun bucks. I think Garrett Kozic is probably the next guy that we act very, very cautious about. 33-year-old, pretty interesting pitcher, not for Geske. Geske's too important to my team right now. Even if he doesn't have the longest term contract with me, um, he's not worth it. It's not worth it giving him up. Unless I'm getting something pretty amazing in return. Yeah, this is not that. I know Geske's a free agent through end of this year. Completely understood. I would much rather offer him the what you call it, and you learn nothing. Maini, you have a job now. Your job is to learn third base. If I'm trading Geske, I need somebody of his skill level or close to it. I can't just trade him just to trade him. You know what, Ritter? Go fuck yourself then. Yeah. That's all you're getting from me. Like, it's not like, oh, I'm just going to hold out and he'll give me a really amazing deal. That's a hard no. It's not going to happen. You're offering, like, reasonable... Like, if he wasn't already an established starter, I might be willing to consider this. Because I'm not bringing Geske back. I'm not that foolish. Short of Noah Schultz retiring, or something to that effect, it's not going to happen. Whatever. I don't care. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in making another World Series run. And that, you know what? Fuck you, Ritter. You probably got a bonus from them. You didn't get a bonus from them at all. You were just a bitch. Fair enough. Yeah, I am not giving up Geske for that little. Is there anybody I would like to use my last 40-man spot on? Maybe Tyler Baird? Maybe Tyler Brown? Maybe John Lash? I'm not foolish enough to think that some of these guys might not go. I just don't see... Well... Alright. Dan Sipes is nothing special. He's probably not a major leaguer. I can designate him for assignment. I will throw Tyler Baird, I guess, on the 40-man. I will throw Tyler Brown on the 40-man. And then we'll see if anybody grabs anybody. I do have Danny Claiborne, who at least has a pretty amazing glove. Jamie Borg is 28 years old, and he has had 0 opportunities in the major leagues. I think at a certain point, we just let him go and see if we can't maybe find ourselves a Rule 5 guy. Maybe. Maybe. Michael Travis and Alex Salgado both got taken. Well, Salgado's slightly more of a loss. I think Salgado had a chance to be a decent hitter under the right circumstances. Michael Travis is a center fielder that can't play center field. Like, and his bat's not good enough to play a corner. I have no hesitation about losing him. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. Chris Larson has a pretty incredible arm. I'm at least willing to try it. If I can even grab him, I might not be able to grab him. You might say I can't have him because it's over my... Oh no, I'm not over my roster limit. Nice. It's worth a flyer, right? John Guerrero is gone. John Guerrero had a pretty amazing season in the minors last year. Don't let his high ERA fool you. He actually pitched really effectively. So I think somebody's got themselves at least a major league caliber pitcher. I think I don't want anything else in the Rule 5. I think my one shot in the dark was enough. Alex Pedroza has a pretty good bat, but I don't need that right now. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and auto-complete the route. And if I lose more players, I lose more players. I don't really mind that much. I also lost Jeff Young. Jeff Young hurts a little bit. I think I would have possibly protected him had I thought more clearly about it, because I did want another catcher. I'm gonna mark him as a former Sock and see if I made a mistake letting him go. The rest of these guys I don't really care about. Um, Alex Salgado, maybe we can keep an eye on him too. You know what? Fuck it, we'll keep an eye on all of them, and they might be back. You never know. Hmm. Losing Jeff Young, I think, is kind of poopy. Had I paid more attention, I think I would have kept him, but I just missed it. So, oh well. You can't keep everybody, right? It's not possible. Luis Ochoa is the first pitcher that would even remotely consider worthy of trading Geske, but again, I'm gonna mark him as untouchable for now. I'm just gonna keep getting offers that are just gonna keep lowballing me because they think they have all the leverage when they don't. I am completely prepared to keep Geske. 100%. Everyone is struggling. That's kind of stinky. Alright, fine. I'm 100% going to keep him in the program. 100%. Borgen Sipes easily clear waivers. Fine. I did not know that he hit a walk-off home run in his major league debut. Miguel Cabrera is a pretty good baseball player. I know. I'm getting a little bit wild in my assertions. How close was Ito to winning MVP? I'm just curious. It had to have been close. Like, he had to be top 3, right? He didn't even break top 3? That's bonkers. That is the most bonkers. How on earth is he not a top 3 player in the American League last year? Where's it at? I want to see the voting. Give me the fucking voting. Alright. Where is MVP? I get this vote was very, very close. This is ridiculous. Victor Pineda is fine. He was not anywhere near as good as Ito. Ito was substantially better. Mackey was at least close, I guess, but no, I disagree very strongly that Pineda made it over Ito. Fucking New York bias again. Man. I'm a little salty about that one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit grumpy. Fine. I didn't check the Hall of Fame voting results. That's funny. I don't think anybody got elected. Maybe they did. Yeah, nobody got elected. Damn. $246 million. My budget's already basically topped out. You need to give me more money is what you need to do. But for right now, what does the owner want from me? He wants to get a power hitter, wants to steal more bases. I don't care if we steal more bases. That is uninteresting to me. He wants to upgrade first base. I might have done that. We'll see. Oh, you know what? Hang on. International amateurs. Here we go. Jose Hernandez is actually a really good catcher. I know his power is uninteresting, but that's okay. He's a great catcher with a plus bat. I think he's exactly the kind of player that I could be interested in. I think I don't overthink this one. I think we just go ahead and bring him along for whatever our max is, which is 5.23 million. Worth every single red cent. It's a good offer. I'm so confident I'm going to call you an incoming prospect. Now, I could get out competed. I don't have the most money. There's a very real chance somebody else just pays him that little bit more and that makes a big difference for him. But I hope it's not. I hope he decides he wants to come over to me. That's my thinking anyway. We got him. Nailed it. Expendes is getting better. Larson just got quite a bit worse. That's a huge bummer. Damn. Damn. Leo Torres is getting better. That's very good news. Ito got a tiny bit worse. Montez got a tiny bit worse. It's all fine. It's fine. I have such a logjam of so many positions right now. We just have to settle down and start making people figure it out, right? Spring training begins. Glorious. Waters definitely is going to get some attention here in spring training. Most of you guys will not. Tony Garcia is fine. Riddle is fine. I don't want to use Maini. I want him in middle. I want him in the other spring training. I think John Crank is definitely worthy of a spring training shot. Same thing for Gerling and Shiflett. That's reasonable. That's fine. Lash, Barrera. All of you can have some spots. David Kelly, Danny Rios. Epperle's got nothing. Epperle's just not very good. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not even gonna overthink this one. We're just gonna ride it. I do want Garcia. I think that's fair. I think that's a reasonable decision, and we're gonna go ahead and let you set up your depth charts however you want. Montez DHing is a look, I suppose. I'm not necessarily against it, but fine. I don't love the fact that Montez isn't playing every day, but maybe he doesn't have to. Maybe it's better for him to just play against lefties right now. And give Joel Biddle a chance to DH and make sure that we give him some playing time, potentially. Was Kozuchuk bad against righties last year? I don't think... Oh, God, he is that bad against lefties. He definitely needs to be protected. Good to know. Very good to know. And we've got lots of people being cycled in and out, so I think at the end of the day, there'll be plenty of playing time for everybody, and we can let things sort themselves out. Pitching staff, we're going to run 6-man rotation, and there we go. We really love the idea of trying to make Adam Jones into a starter. I'm not opposed to trying it. Maybe he'll turn out to be great at it. Who knows? I find it funny that Noah Schultz is the number 6 starter. Probably deserved. Probably not long for this club. Unless he's willing to come back for a lot less money. We'll see. All right. Estrada striking out more is definitely not going to help him. Damn. I mean, John Crank got better. That's fun. But everyone else, for the most part, was kind of mid. Oh, Herb Berry improved his current power rating. That's very exciting, actually. That's very exciting. Yeah, I can get along with that. I've been listening to the Cranberries quite a bit, which is interesting because it's not like they didn't exist before. They're obviously a band's been around for a while, but for the longest time, the only song I'd ever heard was Dreams, and then I heard Zombie, and I'm like, this is a totally different band, and I like it quite a lot. So that's how my life's been going. You gotta do stuff where you can. I gave up on Fallout 4. Um, I've already beaten Fallout 4 a couple of times. I decided with the new update to give Fallout 4 a try again, and I decided it's not for me anymore. I found the combat too frustrating, and life's too short to play a game you find frustrating. Unless you're getting something really great out of it, but it's already done all the main story beats. I didn't feel like it was that great. I feel like Fallout 4 really wants you to play with power armor all the time, but I find that makes the game less interesting. Um, yeah. So either way, lots of other games that I can play and enjoy. I'm trying to get gold staked on every deck in Balatro. I'm having some luck, but it's a hard slog. I think I'm on the green deck right now. So that's the thing that's happening for me. Um, yeah. I really want to finish playing Rogue Trader. The new expansion just came out, and I still haven't finished Act 2 yet. But I every time I want to sit down and play it, just something else just picks at my brain a little bit. Usually a deck builder. I'm a basic bitch for a deck builder. Anything crazy happened here? Bill Shiflett got a lot better. That's kind of interesting. That's kind of intriguing. Okay. All right, let's get this opening day roster set up. 48 players, 26 of them are pitchers. Let's start getting rid of pitchers. Would Noah Schultz take a demotion to the minor leagues? I have a strong suspicion the inside question is a hard no. That he's just going to say, no, I'm a veteran. You should let me stay in the majors. I'm not even opposed to that. I'm not even trying to sit there and tell you that he's not worthy of a roster spot. But if I could, okay, Tyler Brown can go. Tyler Baird sucked. I got bamboozled, you guys. I got heckin' bamboozled. Oh well. I think Crank did a ton to improve his stock. I'm not gonna play him this year, but I'm here. I'm here listening. Erling can go. Kelly can go. Lash can go. Um, gotta get rid of 7 more pitchers. Hmm. We like Jay Horner a lot all of a sudden. I still think I prefer Adam Wilson being our closer, but if Jay Horner wants to give it a go, I could see that being a thing. Sure, I could. Um, I feel like Eric Powers has been around forever, even though I know he hasn't. And he had a good year last year. He actually had a pretty good year last year. I don't want to get rid of him if I don't have to, but okay, Chris Larson can go already. I just love it when you get a guy and he just disintegrates in spring training. That's always awesome. Oh well. Will Schultz take a demotion? I think the answer is probably no. No, he won't do it. And it's kind of insulting that I even asked. I mean, he has been one of our most consistent starting pitchers. It's not his fault that he's getting older, as we all are. Um, all right. McGee is too raw. I can't trust that control right now. Do we keep Ted Robinson in the majors this year, or do we let Ted Robinson go back to AAA for a bit? He's still a very high development risk because he throws so hard. Um, I think it's possibly fine, maybe. I probably shouldn't have brought Vergez back, if I'm being honest with you. I think I keep getting suckered in because he always pitches well, but he's never been the best reliever on the roster. Maybe last year he was pretty close. I don't know. I still got to find new homes for 5 pitchers, so we've got to just make some hard choices here. Altamar and Davis go back to the minors for now. I can't carry 6 starters. Um, I'll send. Oh, there's Chris Waters. He definitely goes back to the minors. I want him starting. I don't want him relieving. He needs to play somewhere that isn't rookie league. I think is pretty important for us. Vantine was really bad last year in the majors. Vantine, you can start the year in the minors. I've got to send one more pitcher down to the minors. It's either Ted Robinson or it's Eric Powers. And I think between the two of them, I think Eric Powers is the one that probably needs to go. He's a fastball only pitcher, and there's nothing wrong with that. But Ted Robinson still has a brighter future, I think. And I want to give him every chance. I think it's more important that Ted Robinson stays in the major leagues than that Eric Powers stays in the major leagues. So there we go. Let me set my pitching staff now. Let's blow it up and go to a 5-man rotation. Obviously, Jaden Charles is the ace. There's no disputing that. Obviously, Luke Geske is the number 2. There's no disputing that. Where is a dispute is who fills out the rest of the starting rotation. Let's look at our pitching ratings. All right. Adam Jones has incredibly good stuff. The best stuff on the roster. I think that's at least worth an experiment to see if he can handle being a starting pitcher. I think there's value in letting him try to figure it out. I think there's equally value in deciding. So the next question is, do we pitch Schultz? I think the answer is yes. I think Schultz and Williams round out this roster, and I think we let Mendez chill out as our emergency starter. Yeah. I think we swap Williams and Schultz maybe, but I think this is our opening day rotation. Relief-wise, Mendez instantly becomes the emergency starter. If someone has to start and he can't do it, then it'll be Ted Robinson. I know that we're exceptionally vulnerable to a team with really good right-handed hitting, but I think all of my lefties are good enough that we're not hurt badly. Matt Plus almost has to be a right-handed specialist to get the most out of him. Which is what he's going to be. He's going to be a righty specialist if we need him to be. John Kennett, what is your deal here? I think you can be our lefty specialist and also do some long relief. So who closes? The best stuff on the team that doesn't have a regular job is Matt West, but that's hiding the fact that he's terrible against lefties. Like, lefties eat his lunch. So that's unreliable. It's either Horner or Wilson, and I get why the AI likes Horner more because he's more established. And I think we should follow that trend. I think we should trust him. Let him close and just see where that gets us. This means that Adam Wilson can be the setup guy, and I think there's no issue with that. And then Spencer and Vergez can be our genuine metal relievers. This is the bullpen. I think it's good, but it's also very, very green. As pitchers get more experience, as they improve, I think we'll start to see things really get better. Jones is also by far the hardest thrower in the rotation, although Ted Robinson, Puess, and Spencer are all no great deals. No big issues here. If Mr. Puess does as I think he might this season, I think there's a very real possibility we trade him. Just out of curiosity, last year he got clobbered, right? No, everybody beat his ass, but lefties especially beat his ass last year. So, curious. All right, position players. Got to make some choices here. Leo Torres will be back in a week, so he gets a stay. Maddie to the minors. I don't need to carry a triple. I don't need to carry a third base only. Garcia to the minors. Oh, is Estrada... Does he have a hole? It's not a very big one. He's about the same either way. I still might move people around, but I don't have to carry another hitter just to satisfy him. I'm really intrigued by Shiflett. He's definitely a second baseman at best, more of a first baseman, and maybe that's okay, but I think at least for right now, Shiflett goes back to the minor leagues. Barrera to the minors. Dingman to the minors. We could platoon Hinshaw with Estrada, I guess. Like, I just need to see if he can hit it all. Is the issue that I'm running into. I think Jason Ransom starts the year in AAA. I think that's appropriate. Unless there's obvious... Actually, I shouldn't say there's obvious players that I don't want in the majors. I've got to get rid of 4 position players. This means Danny Claiborne goes to the minors. And 3 outfielders have to join him. Alright. Maben and Estrada are out of options. They have to stay. Bautista and Tibbs are highly paid. They have to stay. Jason Ransom right this second. So Hinshaw's got to go to the minors. Rios has to go to the minors. And that comes down to Biddle or Ransom, and Biddle is the more established player right now. Then again, Biddle might have just gotten lucky, and he might suck the big one this year. So Ransom's time in the minors might be short, but I think he has to start the year in the minors. So that's the position players sorted. This is where it gets really spicy because we need to figure out how we're going to divvy everything up here. Ito is still my best hitter. From top to bottom, he is my best hitter. Ito will continue to hit second for me. I think that's appropriate. I feel like batting Kozic leadoff is a mistake, but I also think it's a mistake that might work out. So I think we go ahead and we let him hit leadoff. So who hits third? I know that Tibbs is cleanup. And I know that Estrada is probably fifth. No, that's foolish. Montez is fifth. Estrada is sixth. So the question is, does Yorker Bautista hit third, or do we entrust that job to Joel Biddle? And I think we can trust Biddle to do that job. Is Estrada better than Tibbs? It's close. I think we can let Estrada DH. Oh, I have too many outfielders. Okay. Wait, not Manny Estrada. I wanted Michael Estrada there. Sorry. That solves that issue. Biddle's a pretty bad outfielder, so I guess that's reasonable. I think Yorker Bautista hitting seventh is pretty good. And then that leaves Josh Gibbs hitting eighth. And then who hits ninth? It's gonna be whoever is playing. Position is missing. I have first, second, third, and catcher. Teal definitely shouldn't be hitting ninth. I think I trust Teal more than Gibbs. Actually, you know what? Bautista hits sixth. Teal hits there. Estrada might get more playing time. I just need to see what he can do before I commit to him like that. All right, that's against righties. Next, let's decide who plays against lefties. Tibbs stays. Tibbs is pretty good either way. We like Tibbs. Tibbs is also going to hit against left-handed pitching. Kozic is ostensibly a switch hitter. The problem is he is absolute trash against left-handed pitching. So that's not going to work. That's not going to work. We definitely play Trent Maben at right field against lefties. He's just not going to play right field and hit first because I don't trust him enough for that. Estrada's mostly the same guy. I guess he can keep batting eighth, and Gibbs can keep batting ninth. So who DHs? I need a right-handed bat. And that's the rub. That would be the reason to keep Ransom. Yeah, okay. If I try to get Estrada through waivers, I'm going to lose him. Maybe that's fine. Maybe that doesn't bother me that much. But it is something we have to consider. The moment I waive him, he gets picked up by somebody else. But he's out of options. And the thing is, I need Jason Ransom. Or somebody of his talent level to play, to do things. I'm going to try to flip Estrada now. I'm going to see if there's anybody of interest if I trade Estrada. I think somebody's going to go, ooh, look at his shiny potential and give me nothing. Okay. I mean, Miguel Maciel is fine, but this really concerns me. What about Erdman? Is Erdman interesting? Erdman is kind of interesting, actually. I like his positional flexibility. He's good. He's hardworking. He's got some minimal offensive skills. Maybe. Man, that's such a bummer, though. Because I think Estrada could potentially fill a very crucial role for this team and being a stereotypical leadoff guy, which I don't have right now. But as for regulars or veterans, maybe just trade you for somebody better. And I don't worry about just only prospects, right? Like maybe there's a better fit. Either no, there are no other greens. Angel Martinez sucks. Oh, poop. What are the chances if I waive Estrada that he doesn't get snapped up? Pretty much zero, right? Sending Biddle to the minors feels bad. Like, it feels like the wrong move. But I think that's the only move I can make. It makes us a worse team, is the big problem. Because Estrada absolutely cannot handle left right handed pitching that effectively. He's fine, but he's not expressly what I'm looking for. Maybe that's just the price we have to pay. Because otherwise we lose Estrada and we get nothing in return. Um, it feels shitty. It feels really, really shitty. But a fully operational version of Manny Estrada is more valuable to me than a fully operational version of Joel Biddle. The alternative is we bench Estrada. We send Estrada to the minor leagues and see what he can accomplish there. He is a finished product, though. Like, I don't think sending him to AAA is going to help. Either he's going to hit or he won't. And if he won't hit, then we know. But Biddle at first base answers the most important question, which is how do we keep everybody together? If that's the case, then Estrada goes to the minors and we bring Ransom back. That's not a terrible solution to this problem. But I feel like I'm bending over backwards for Joel Biddle, and I don't know that he deserves it. I don't know that I sit here and say, yes, Joel Biddle, the virtually perfect baseball player. Why wouldn't I move heaven and earth to keep him on the team? I feel like Estrada has the potential to be something we desperately need, which is just raw, unmitigated power. And I think that's something that's too valuable to send to the minors over someone like Biddle. So the question is, do we risk Estrada getting through waivers, or do we send Biddle to the minors? Okay, let's think of it this way. Estrada becomes a lifer, essentially, if I don't trade him now, because of the fact he doesn't have options left. We're basically trapped with him. That's not terrible. It's not like it's the end of the world or anything. But it is something we have to think about. If I demote Biddle and something else doesn't change, I'm effectively committing to Estrada. The version of Estrada that he could be, like the version of Estrada that reaches his potential, is somebody we desperately need on this team. Somebody who gets on base at a very high clip and offers a well-rounded bat with very few holes in his game. That player is in here. He's definitely shown it in the minor leagues. He's definitely shown it even in the majors, albeit in limited play time. And I think we are cheating ourselves if we don't give him that chance. So Biddle, you're going to the minor leagues. Ransom, welcome back. Because Ransom offers us somebody who's very good against left-handed pitching, which fills the hole that Biddle had. Okay. So with this lineup, who hits third? It's either Tibbs or Teal, and I think it's either Montez or Teal, and I think it's Montez. Bautista stays where he is. No, Bautista slides up. And then Manny Estrada is going to play DH and hit sixth. Do we play Billy Reed against left-handed pitching? No, Montez is even better against left-handed pitching than against right-handed pitching. Montez plays every day. So we're going to let him hit third every day. Is that a mistake? Maybe, but it's what we're working. It's what we're working with right now. Ransom is an okay left fielder. Tibbs can play right. I'm gonna shift. No, or is Mabe? No, Maben's really good. Maybe can play center. So then I guess by default Ransom becomes the DH, which is fine. Do I trust him enough to lead off? Maybe, but probably not. So who hits leadoff? Oh, I forgot about Kyle Teal again. I don't know why I keep forgetting about him. Oh, we don't have Bautista in the lineup yet. That's the missing player. Alright. This is such a terrible idea. But until either Mabin or Ransom or both really starts putting the work in, I can't trust either one of them to hit third. So maybe we just suffer until we figure out what things look like this year. We are betting an awful lot of money on Kozic having another outstanding year for this to be another top 2 offense. But then again, there is so much growth in this lineup. There's so much potential for this lineup to be top to bottom terrifying. It just relies on us actually achieving what they're capable of. This also gives us very little flexibility. Billy Reeves is going to be essential to our success because he's the only person that can handle the infield on this roster. This is fine. If we want to set up a situation where Kozic plays left field, gives Tibbs a break, and then Tibbs DHs, fine. Let's make it every 7 games for both of you. That way we get the nice synergy. Tibbs gets a day off once a week. Kozic gets to play left field a little bit. All right. I don't want Rieg playing that much. All right. Kozic can play left field once a week, I guess. I guess that's fine. Rieg DHing every now and again is, again, fine. It doesn't really affect me one way or the other. If Maiden shows that he can play this year, he's got a chance to be an everyday outfielder. Because his bat, he definitely has a platoon split, but it's not that dramatic. I just need him to play well this year. Maiden's got 2 full months. He's got 2 full months to show me that he is worthy of staying on the Major League roster. If he fucks up, he's possibly out the door. This is the problem with having a young roster. I had a guy that was in the top 10. What happened? Oh, I guess Barry slipped to 12th. What a loser. I'm joking. Man, if her Barry works out, he would be awesome. I'm really excited by his raw potential. I'm very, very intrigued by what he might be able to accomplish for us. Yeah. Or 1 point behind the Mets. Interesting. Curious. I'm gonna simulate up to our first game just to let things kind of reset, and then we'll end the episode. Both Baird and Powers cleared waivers, which I expected. I guess there's one player that I'm overly accommodating, and might even be Tibbs. But this is Tibbs' last year, potentially. So I think there's a world in which we don't worry about him. No prospect promotion incentive for you. Lame. I just don't know. I am unable to know what this is going to look like. There is so much stinking talent in this lineup, and it's not fully achieved yet. It's not fully actualized yet. I wish we had a reliable leadoff guy. I think more than anything, that's the one position we're lacking in. That player might be on the roster. It might be Manny Estrada, at least against lefties. Or righties, excuse me. But we have to see. I think there's a world of talent on this team, on this organization, and we just need to give it some time to unlock. But when it does unlock, I think we're going to be very spooky. That's what I believe will happen. I have so many highly talented players that just don't have a spot right now that I would love to make some room for. There is very much a world where Estrada shits the bed so thoroughly that Shiflett gets his spot. I'm gonna make Waters stay in AAA. No, that's not true. I'm not gonna make him stay in AAA. I will take over his development because I don't want him to be demoted. I'm gonna send him to AA. I think keeping him in rookie ball for 3 seasons was fucking stupid. But I think it's reasonable to let him pitch in AA before you push him up the mark to pitch in AAA. I think that's fine. Yeah. If Miami learns third base even a little bit, his value to me increases substantially. This may be the leadoff guy that we need if he had any speed whatsoever. But he is the on base guy that we need. So, Mr. Miami, I want you to play in Double A this year. I want you to focus on learning triple. I want you to focus on learning third base. With the expectation you'll probably play first in the majors and be one of the best leadoff men in the league, despite your lack of speed. There's lots to like about this top club. There's lots to like about our future. I think we have surprising depth. I think there's a lot going on here that we can get excited about. But I equally think some of these players are farther away than they look. And I think we need to start committing to people. And we just need to accept the fact that we are who we are. This is it for Maven. If Maven cannot be a consistent contributor, he's done. Last year is not good enough. I cannot have a player that only hits 15 home runs when power is his calling card. It's got to be 25 to 30. Or more than 30. But 25 to 30 is what I'm looking for. That's what I need from him to prove to me that, yes, he is somebody worth our attention. The man is hit in AAA, and he's hit fine. He's hit in the minor leagues. He just needs to turn that into major league production. If he does, I think he's a good one, and I think we're really well set there. That's where we are. We won't sleep on Danny Rios as a possible player too. Yeah. This lineup against righties is kind of brutal, or lefties is kind of brutal. We're basically betting that both Maben and Ransom are going to be top-tier outfielders all the time when they're facing left-handed pitching. Maybe they are, maybe they're not. Are we hurting our evaluation by not playing Maven every day? Should Maven be always playing? Not over Kozic. I think until Kozic proves that last year was a fluke, that he can't actually hit that well, I think having Kozic on the league is fine. I think having him on the team excuse me is fine. I don't think that bothers me. If there's any flexibility in this roster, it's at first base. And if that happens, then we could say, I don't know, have Tibbs play first base or something like that. So Estrada's the odd man out when it comes to roster spots at the moment. I believe in him. I believe there's something special in him that'll just vaporize baseballs if we just give him a chance. He has hit for power. Power is not his problem. Contact is his problem. But it costs me very little to let him play, see what he's about, and then make an evaluation from there. How often has Maven playing against right-handed pitching? Is he starting at least every once in a while? Okay. I want Maben swapping in when he can. I don't know what's going to happen. I genuinely don't. Although it's going to be fun to find out, for sure. It's going to be fun to see if these guys can take their pedigrees and turn it into production and basically give me a team of incredible young talent from top to bottom. If that doesn't happen, and it's very possible that it doesn't happen, then we're going to have a difficult decision to make in the offseason. Geske is gone. There is a world in which he stays for another season, but he's gone. It's just not happening. If we're really out of it by the trading deadline, maybe we can flip Geske to a contender. But Realistically, we're talking Geske finishes out the year, and then someone like Chris Waters gets his rotation spot. That's what we're talking about here. That's the most likely scenario here. Maybe in the short term, Ted Robinson or Alex Mendez starts, and that's fine as a stopgap. But realistically, it's Chris Waters. Chris Waters is the guy that needs to show us what he can do in the major leagues. He's going to be the big guy next season. So have a great year, have fun, enjoy your last year in the minor leagues because you're probably up to stay next year, assuming you don't shit the bed entirely. Very possible. Very, very possible. Tyler Brown, you suck. Remember Gabe Dingman? I remember Gabe Dingman. I guess if we just desperately needed a right-handed bat, he was available. That's like didn't hit last year, but this is about letting somebody who's got a chance to actually be a top-tier star getting some at-bats. Because a fully operational Jason Ransom is something to behold. Let's just, for fun, compare Ransom and Maven. Because I think it's the easiest way to see what they look like at max power. This is a fucking terrifying hitter. A fully powered Jason Ransom is one of the best hitters in the league. He's going to vaporize baseballs. He's going to get on base. He's going to do everything you could possibly want to from a hitter. That's if he locks in. If he gets his very best. For Maben, he is a useful big league regular. That's what we're hoping for. That is our objective, is seeing a player that is useful. Somebody that can hit baseballs, play effective defense, steal a few bags, stuff like that. That's the goal. That's absolutely the goal. But yeah, either Maben is going to be a reliable bat or he's not. And this is the season that we find out. Absolutely the season that we find out. Yeah, I don't know. We'll find out, friends. Until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already liked the video, always helps. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. You can see more videos every Monday and Friday. And until next time, this has been Guardian, and I bid you good day.